These people have transformed the nature of this particular trade deals and perhaps trade deals into the future. Before, these things were carried out largely behind closed doors. People saw them at the very end and only then had a chance to comment on it. But there's a new player in the game, if you like, and it's partly through social media. It's the directness with which they can approach issues. It's the speed at which they can get campaigns together. And I think they've had almost like a shocking impact, if you like, on these negotiations, because the people who are negotiating, certainly with the European Union, have certainly felt this pressure and know that has to be accommodated as much as is feasible. The Commission has moved a lot, particularly this new Commission. I think it realises that it'll be very difficult to complete these trade talks without giving in to some of the demands, at least, of those people who are demanding more transparency around how those talks are being negotiated and what is being negotiated on behalf of 500 million EU citizens. I think they have moved quite a lot, but I still think there is room for improvement. What the EU says is that they have agreed with the US that if the US essentially doesn't want certain records released, which include information that has been given by the US negotiators, that the EU agrees with that. What we say is that the US may well be putting up valid arguments, but those arguments have to be interrogated, and everything has to be seen through the prism of the EU's transparency regulation. I think the pressure that is coming on with the EU, civil society, all sorts of groups, from my own investigation and so on, is encouraging it to at least talk with the US and try to encourage it to match the transparency, at least, of the European Union. Anecdotally, it's very powerful. From what I've seen in my relatively short time here, it is very powerful. I think almost by definition it has to be powerful, because the Commission, let's say, and the Parliament and the Council, they're making very big decisions in relation to new laws, in relation to regulations that have a big impact on the bottom line of companies. So it is almost axiomatic that they are going to be lobbying very, very strongly, and that they will try and put as much power and influence into that lobbying as they possibly can.